crystia.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. Canada is in trouble. It's in serious, serious trouble. We did a live stream the other night, multiple live streams, in fact, during the chaos and clown show that Pierre Poilievre calls that erupted in Canada government earlier this week when Chrystia Freeland removed herself and resigned from her position within the House of Commons. People keep saying she wasn't fired, she resigned. There's articles coming out saying she was fired over a Zoom meeting and then decided with her demotion that she would essentially step back. What she dropped on Canada was a nuke. Now, as much as I detest Chrystia Freeland, as much as I hope that Chrystia Freeland ends up behind bars and held accountable for the ruthless spending and the problems that she's put this country in, I've got a bigger reason for the purpose that in which she stood back. Many people are saying that, Justin Trudeau claims he's a feminist, that this is what he does to females. Look what he did to Jody Wilson-Raybould. Look what happens now when Chrystia Freeland is available. He throws her under the bus. Chrystia Freeland stepped back in hopes of improving her position to run for leadership of the Liberal Party at some point in time. When you're fiscally irresponsible, and we're going to go over what happened in the budget, because don't forget, this budget fall update was tabled. It was pulled back. They were told we're not going to put it out right away, and they did unveil it eventually. And the reason they unveiled it is the primary reason Chrystia Freeland resigned. We are significantly over the guardrail in which they promised our budget would not go into the deficit, and we all knew that was coming. We knew it was going to happen based on their spending habits, based on Justin Trudeau's ridiculous behavior and his ability to manage a country. This is a drama teacher at the end of the day. What do you do when your party is asking you to resign? And keep in mind, those requests are still coming forward from Liberal MPs. Multiple people have told Justin Trudeau to step down. There's speculative rumor floating around that he's going to resign before Christmas. Now, again, I'll believe it when I see it. When it's on paper, we'll bring it up. We'll talk about it. But instead of your secret caucus meetings, hiding from the public, proroguing Parliament, essentially, without officially proroguing Parliament, what do you do to benefit your party? What do you do to try and get people's confidence back in you? Well, you go to your Christmas party. That's right. You go to your annual Christmas party. I wanted to show Brian Lilly tweeting out here. This guy is delusional and he's not resigning or going anywhere. Look at the smug nature of this man who has absolutely decimated our country, who's been told to step down, who's been told to leave office, that there's nothing more he can do besides continue to break Canada further beyond its means. Listen to this approach.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here tonight. It has been an eventful couple of days. It hasn't been easy. And that's why I'm so happy to see you guys. You know, it's hard not to feel happy when we're like this, among Liberals, among family, because that's what we really are, a big family. Now, like most families, sometimes we have fights around the holidays. But of course, like most families, we find our way through it.
Are you serious right now? We have fights around the holidays, chuckle, but this is how we get through it. First off, I apologize for the audio. Seems a little low. We've tried boosting it, but hey, anytime we can numb out Justin Trudeau, it's a good thing. The reason I want to highlight this, the reason I want to show what happened at his Christmas party, is because while he has spent, they're not stopping these events. They're not saying, hey, we've spent too much money. Let's call off the Christmas parties. No, let's go crack some jokes. Let's crack some unhumorous jokes. While that was going on, incoming President Donald Trump tweets out, the great state of Canada is stunned as the finance minister resigns or was fired from her position by Governor Justin Trudeau. I love that he hasn't given up on the trolling of Justin Trudeau, but there's a bigger outset to this. He goes on to say her behavior was totally toxic and not at all conductive to making deals which are good for very unhappy citizens of Canada. She will not be missed. What you have to understand about Donald Trump, the reason he's barreling so hard against Canada right now, the whole point of this 51st state, the whole reason for his tariffs, he does not want to deal with Justin Trudeau. He doesn't want to deal with any new finance ministers. He doesn't want to deal with Chrystia Freeland. He does not want to deal with the Liberals. That is the reason for imposing his threat of tariffs. That is his reason for the governor of Canada, the 51st state trolls. He knows Justin Trudeau is weak, pathetic, and that he doesn't have the tools necessary to get the job done. President Trump wants security on his borders. He wants to stop the immigration that's coming in from all over the world, that's adding to crime, that's adding to a low dollar, that's taking away from jobs from hardworking citizens. And he knows Justin Trudeau doesn't have the capability to provide the results. Luckily, there is somebody who is capable of producing those results. I want to show that right now. Why is this bigger than it needs to be? There we go. Pierre Poilievre. Pierre Poilievre held a press conference, and I need to play about a 5-minute clip here. We're going to discuss as it goes through, because there's a very key point made here. Well, on our live stream this week, I asked people, when Pierre axes the carbon tax, do you believe that is going to cause the cost of food to come down? Do you think that things are going to get less expensive? Now, your fuel will be less expensive. Your home heating will be less expensive. Your electricity will be less expensive. But the products you buy in your stores, those are determined by other means. A lot of people in those streams said, yes, I believe the costs will come down. I'm going to show you why they're not. And it's because of Justin Trudeau. Let's play about this 5-minute clip, and then we're going to discuss. We may discuss periodically as it goes on here, any points that are brought up, but let's go.
That if you hire clowns, you get a circus. But no one should be laughing, because there are real consequences for yesterday's chaotic liberal clown show. These are the consequences. The deficit is 50% higher than we were promised. Our dollar has plunged below 70 cents American for the first time in ages, which means more expensive fuel, food, clothing, and materials for things like automobiles. It means our people will be poorer and the dollars they work so hard to earn are worth less. The real consequences of yesterday's clown show are playing out in tragedies right across this country. But before we talk about those tragedies, let's talk about this incredible, ridiculous, embarrassing Liberal Day on Parliament Hill. Let's capture the story here for a second. The world markets were watching to find out the size of our deficit. Remember, Chrystia Freeland, after helping Justin Trudeau double the national debt, add more debt than all prior prime ministers combined, said we can't go beyond the $40 billion guardrail, or else we'll go off the cliff. But throughout the year, with the prompting of Carbon Tax Carney, Trudeau's #1 economic advisor, he kept pushing his finance minister further and further leftward. More spending for this or that political gimmick.
So Pierre has a very good point there, that this is a clown show, that the spending is out of control. We already knew this. The 40 billion guardrail has been obliterated by Justin Trudeau and possibly incoming Carbon Tax Carney. But he's getting to a good point when he talks about why things are going to get more expensive, and why dealing with Donald Trump isn't going to be a good day for any of us.
Political gimmick, if I can use the words of Miss Freeland. Again and again, he grabbed the wheel of the financial bus and jerked it to the left with the enthusiastic encouragement of carbon tax Carney. And as we were approaching the fall update, he grabbed the wheel entirely, jerked it to the left, smashed the bus through the guardrail and off the cliff. And then he thought he would blame Chrystia Freeland for it all and put in carbon tax Carney. They had a deal that he would take Chrystia Freeland's job. Well, when Carney saw how bad it all looked, he said, I no longer want the job. So just blame Chrystia Freeland and make her wear it all. Some feminist. The same week as Trudeau was insulting Americans for not electing a woman president, he was busy throwing his own woman deputy prime minister under the bus to replace her with a man. You can't make this stuff up.
And that shows the hypocrisy of Justin Trudeau and his Liberal government, is that this is all virtue signaling. It has nothing to do with morals. It has nothing to do with feminism. Anybody who touts feminism for Justin Trudeau at this point clearly has their head in the sand. They're oblivious to what feminism truly is. And it makes us look stupid at the end of the day as a country.
And then that man said, I don't want the job anymore. So the published order of precedent that the cabinet of the government of Canada had decided on was that the job would go to the industry minister, François-Philippe Champagne. He immediately resigned, faster than you could even report that he had the job. The next person in the order of precedent was Randy Boissonnault. Remember the two Randys. The Randy who claimed that he wasn't the other Randy in order to cover up the fact that he was trying to take public money for his company while he was still a minister. The man who claimed wrongly Indigenous status and had to resign in scandal. Well, he was temporarily the finance minister yesterday as well. And then we realized he couldn't have the job, so they gave it to Dominic LeBlanc. So yesterday we had 4 ministers of finance on the day they were introducing this $62 billion deficit.
Now, the reason for this very long clip is that analogy right there, folks. 4 finance ministers in a single day. The Liberals can't even manage their party. So when a guy like Donald Trump starts tweeting out how Justin Trudeau is going to be the governor of Canada, that Trump is going to take it as a 51st state, that you'd better do what I say or the tariffs are coming in, it shows you that that Donald Trump is going to steamroll over this country to get rid of Justin Trudeau, and Canadians are going to suffer as a result. We are looked at on the world stage as a joke. If you look at the UK, if you look at everything that's gone on in their parliament in the last few years, they can't even keep a leader in power for more than a couple of months without an election. They can't manage their government. Now Canada's on that stage with a bunch of clowns running around, as Pierre says, in a clown show that can't even manage their country or their finances. And now you've got a businessman like Donald Trump, who's taking presidency in the United States, is literally going to steamroll Canada. And Pierre's about to get to why everything's about to get worse for Canadians.
Global markets took note, and the dollar plunged below 70 cents US, the lowest it's been in ages. Never once got that low under Stephen Harper. What does that mean? It means your dollar buys less fuel, food, clothing, and other internationally priced commodities all automatically become more expensive for Canadians. The dollars that our people work so hard to earn, that our pensioners contributed to their plans so much so that they could use, are worth less because of the chaos and clown show of Justin Trudeau and the NDP Liberals.
And that right there is the nail in the coffin as to why everything is more expensive. People always say it's because of the carbon tax. It's because of Justin Trudeau's ruthless spending. Well, the value of the Canadian dollar, one of our largest trading partners in the world, who gives us the majority of our products. You think about if you buy Coca-Cola, Pepsi products, if you buy clothing that's brought in from the United States, if you buy cereals that are brought in from the United States, food that is brought in from the United States, all of that has a price on it for US to Canadian dollars. United States businesses deal in US dollars. If you buy products of any kind from Amazon, from any of your local shops, even your retailers who have brick and mortar, mom and pop, local stores have to import a lot of product from the United States. This is going to be the end result. Take a look at where the dollar currently sits. Now, this graph over to the right, this is from the beginning of November, moving all the way into December. Look at how much it's just plummeting. And this is because of our government. This is because of Justin Trudeau. The global markets dictate where we're going and where our future is going to be. And Donald Trump is going to take full advantage of that. And again, Canadians are now paying the price for this clown show government that has refused to even conduct business since the beginning of September. My top concern here is what Pierre Poilievre is doing is the same thing that Donald Trump has done in the United States. Trump has already said, I can handle taxes. I can handle what you're paying to the government. I cannot control what retailers are charging for their products. It's free market. It's capitalism. That's how it works. Pierre Poilievre is going to be setting up here for the same thing that Justin Trudeau does with Stephen Harper. Pierre is not in control of where the dollar sits. Now, the government can have influence to try and scale the dollar to a better position, but those things take time. If Pierre is to get our industries working again, if we're to negotiate better deals with the United States, if we're to prop up the Canadian dollar, those things take time. So for anybody who thinks that as soon as the tax is axed, that as soon as our income taxes come down, sure, those things are going to help us because it's going to free up money that is now going to go to paying for more expensive products in our stores. Justin Trudeau, Chrystia Freeland, every single Liberal in the Canadian caucus has officially bankrupted Canadians. And voters should be pissed. Anybody who votes for the Liberals at this point, anybody who wants to still support the NDP, where are those votes coming from? How do these people not understand basic economics? That the reason you can't get beyond a one-bedroom apartment, if you can even afford that, the reason you're living in a basement, the reason you can't get ahead in life, is because of the people you're propping up. You think universal basic income is going to help you. You think all these wonderful handouts that they keep talking about is going to benefit you. I have sour news for those voters. This is why we're sitting over that $40 billion deficit guardrail. It's almost double why Justin Trudeau, as Pierre Poilievre has said, has steered the car literally over the cliff and into a deep, deep valley that is going to take decades for us to get ourselves out of. And what you see from Pierre Poilievre is a man, a real leader. That speech looks like that of a leader because he's not cracking jokes. He's not making funny little quips that, oh, we fight from time to time, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm so happy to see you here as I continue to spend more money like Justin Trudeau. Where do you think Trudeau's going this year for his Christmas winter holiday? How much do you think that's going to cost Canadian taxpayers? This man has no limits put against him. The big question of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I know this video is longer than usual. I want to hear from you guys down below in the comments. Do you believe now that when the tax is axed, and it will be, do you believe your products, your food, your necessities are still going to be less costly than they already are now? And who do you blame for that? Are you going to blame Pierre or are you going to blame Justin Trudeau? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure as you're clicking that subscribe button, you hit the bell for notifications. Join me live here on the channel each and every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe, our live streaming show, where I'm joined by my beautiful wife, Mrs. Fringe, as we go over everything that's happened this week in politics, everything we know that's coming up, despite the fact that everybody's on break. We'll give you all that we can on those live streams. It'll be our last live stream before Christmas. So I would hope that everybody watching this video attends that live stream and has a great time with our wonderful community. We both look forward to hearing each and everything that you guys have to say every Friday night. And it all starts 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.